Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I was in the mood to do something semi-colorful and I came up with this look. I used green underneath the eyes only and earthy colors, more neutral ones on the lid. The palette I used is the Morphe with Jaclyn Hill palette, the first one, the original one. I don't know what I expected to find, but certainly not this. Not that I didn't, believe the other YouTubers who did 1 million reviews on this palette, but it's just sometimes you have to see it to believe it, and I believe it. I'm a believer now, I must say. I also completed the look with ARISON Lashes, of course, because I am going to show you now how I created the look, so stay tuned. The primer I used is from MAC and it's the Prep and Prime one. For the eyebrows, I used the Paradise Ecstatic Pomade from L'Oreal. It's in Châtain. Also, the brush is from MAC. It's the 263 an angled brush. So for this look, I'm using the Morphe with Jaclyn Hill palette, the original one, and I'm taking first that shade, which is very yellowish. It's also matte, and it's called Creamsicle. I'm doing a quite soft and diffused crease. I am using for this a 221 Luxe Soft Crease Brush from Ziva. To deepen up the crease, I am using then Pookie, which is also matte and it's like a chestnut color. And also I'm using a BD Tools brush, the 776. This is also a crease brush, so a blending brush, but the bristles are narrower and shorter. Next eyeshadow I'm taking, it's Mocha, and the name says it all. It's also matte, and I am using here a brush from Makeup Factory. This is also a blending brush, but it's a lot pointier than the previous ones. Next I'm taking Queen, which is like an old gold eyeshadow, very pretty. As you can see, it has a lot of payoff and it glides on the skin quite beautifully. It's creamy, it's buttery. She did a great job with this one. Next to Mocha, it's Chip. It's another matte eyeshadow. It's like a reddish brown, a deep brown, and I am also using a Ziva brush for this, A230. So this color is the darkest one I am using for the upper part of the eye. As pretty as those neutral colors are, I don't want them to steal the show from the lower part of the eye, which is coming soon after I've done my base. Next I'm taking In Light, which is going to be my highlighting shade, and it's also very pretty and buttery as well. The mascara I use for the top lashes only, it's the Volume Effect one from YSL and it's black. I really like this one, but it's runny, so be aware of that. But it's making your lashes black and long and thick and all that. The foundation I use lately quite a lot is this one, the Perfect Match from L'Oreal. It's in 3V. I love the golden hue of this one and the fact that it's not very matte. It's not dewy by any means, but it's not the matte one that, kind of takes all the moisture from the skin type. My concealer is from NARS. It's the Radiant Creamy Concealer in Medium Custard, and it's no joke, this one. It's really creamy and it covers everything. So I'm not going to go crazy on this one. I don't usually do. I am just going to apply a little bit where I think I need it. So it's going to be a small triangle underneath the eyes, along the nose and on the chin and a bit on the forehead. Before starting with the base, I did apply off camera a moisturizer from La Roche-Posay as always, and also a face primer from NYX. I'm using here the same beauty sponge from Kiko to blend all this out. To set my base, I'm using a powder from L'Oreal. It's the Indefectible powder in the lightest shade. And I'm also using a Real Techniques powder brush. My blusher is from NYX and it's in Angel. It's matte, this one, and although I normally go for more shimmery ones, I do really like this one. One can also see that it's been well loved, this Angel. The brush I'm using, it's also from Real Techniques. It's a blusher brush. I normally like to apply my blusher a bit above the apples of my cheeks, and I also swipe it across the cheek, so towards the sides of the face. My bronzer is the Hoola in powder form from Benefit, and I am using here to apply it a Bare Minerals Flawless Face Brush. So I'm doing swiping motions but also tapping motions, but it's really about feeling how you think it's looking best applied with the brush you're using. For the nose contour, I'm using a Sephora 13 brush. This is more a brush for the crease area, so for blending. My highlighter is from Laura Geller in Gilded Honey. I'm also using a fan brush from Ziva to apply it. To line and overline a bit my lips, I'm using the Maybelline Color Sensational Lip Liner in the shade Nude Seduction, number 20. The lipstick that goes on top is the Color Riche from L'Oreal in the shade 645. This is J.Lo's, by the way. The kajal I'm using next is from Model's Own in Peacock Green. So I'm lining the entire lower lash line with this. Next eyeshadow, and the last one I'm going to use from this palette, it's Jada. I absolutely adore this eyeshadow. I love this color. It's matte and it's going on top. On top of the eyeliner. For the inner rims of my eyes, I'm using here a black gel eyeliner from Inglot in the shade 77, and you can also use whatever small brush you have. Next, I'm using a waterproof mascara from MAC. It's the Extended Play Mascara in black. So for this look, I am going to use ARISON Lashes in D02. I find that using a lash applicator, it's making the job a lot easier. The lash curlers, it's a must for me. It's just going to make my eyes look bigger, more awake and more lifted, and I like that best. Thanks a lot for watching this, and I love your bunches. Bye! So everyone, this was this week's tutorial. I really hope you liked it. As always, if you did like it, and only then, please give me a thumbs up. Because if you are subscribed to my channel and you like my tutorials, you would like to see in the future new tutorials from me, YouTube is going to automatically unsubscribe you if you do not interact with me. If you never say that you like my tutorials, if you don't write anything underneath, it's just going to do that, and it might be frustrating to you and to me is anyway. And if you want to follow me on social media, you can on Instagram, on VERO, and on Facebook. I am there. So I'm gonna catch you now in my next tutorial. Bye!